now listening to the Lineman Lounge,
where sleeves are optional.
Aren't you tired of the same old podcast? Aren't you tired of the same old things? Don't you want to switch it up a little bit? Listen up, cause I'm about to blow your brain. Let your seat kick back, let your feet relax. Come on over, take a listen to the Lineman Lounge. In the car, at your crib, anywhere that you want. Come on over, take a listen to the Lineman Lounge. Got the NFL, got MLB, got NBA, and some UFC. Got college sports, we talking fantasy. Come on over, take a listen to the boy Mike C. Only on
the Lineman Lounge.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Hangar 6.
That's right, baby.
It's the Lineman Lounge with Mike and Evo. We're hitting you up here on Thursday, a little bit off of our schedule as we go through our work schedule changes and work through this COVID environment and everything that is entailed with that. And we're getting off of monsoon schedules here for work, so, changing up our schedules a little bit. So we're going to figure it out. We're going to make it work, but the thickest guys in all sports podcasting are still here with you today, ready to go over some sports, primarily just football today, because, today's the start of the NFL, baby.
It's the fucking start of football.
It's time.
So pumped, man.
Yep. I'm just getting done with practice today with Bishop Sycamore.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw that they finally gave you some swag.
The kids at practice, we like to call it BS.
Yeah. Yep.
VS for, Bishop Sycamore, of course.
Obviously.
So it's real fun doing that. Really enjoying my time with the team. But let's get kicked off. Go into some college football.
Hell yeah. Dude, by the way, love the shirt. When you fucking got here and I saw the shirt, I was super pumped. I know Bishop Sycamore is very happy to have you. I see that they're not skimping on their signing bonus to have you there. So, once again, congratulations.
It's a passion thing for me, really. It's when if I was going to play for some no-name school, I would expect to, these lower, tier schools, I would expect to get some sort of a kickback. Realistically, for me, I would play for free. Bishop Sycamore.
That makes sense. For the love of the game, right?
Yeah, it's all about BS when it comes to Bishop Sycamore. So.
Absolutely. I don't know if you have seen any of the newer things that have come out about Bishop Sycamore. At some point, we're going to have to dive back in because there's more and more shit that just keeps happening.
I feel like we're going to have to just let it, sit and marinate for a little bit because we could have just a weekly Bishop Sycamore podcast at this rate.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the Kevin Hart directed documentary that's coming out on it.
It's going to be fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have seen anything that Andrew Hawkins has put out about Bishop. Yeah,
yes.
I
believe you put some of his stuff on the social pages, right?
I think maybe I did. If I didn't, I think I just showed it to you. I love Hawk. Hilarious guy. Also a former Brown, so definitely has a soft spot in my heart. He's so goddamn funny. But yeah, let's get this thing kicked off. We'll start with some college football. Mm-hmm. Saturday, we recorded our last pod, and kind of we were in the middle of some football shit going on.
Games were going on.
Yeah. So Alabama came out and absolutely stomped a fucking shithole in Miami. It wasn't even close, which did not bode well for my bet. I was trying to get one early. Now, there's very few things that I will typically do, and that's bet against Alabama. Typically, that's not something I'm ever going to do, but I thought De'Aaron King, Miami, they may be able to keep it close. They fucking were not. Alabama looks absolutely stacked again. Their freshman quarterback looks like a fucking stud. Looked very, very good. Looked better than Ohio State's freshman quarterback, C.J. Stroud. Now, Stroud did end up having a better game as it went along, but bigger test this week coming up against Oregon. So I'm very excited to see that. The game is at 9 a.m. here, which is fucking great because our football game just got pushed back to 2 p.m. Mm-hmm. So I should be able to watch the Ohio State game, then go roll right into coaching the 9U Colts up in Marana.
Nice. Yeah, I'll be probably in the middle of my game. I believe I have an 8:30 game this weekend. So this is not super directly football related, but I learned some things concerning Alabama football yesterday. So one, Vitor Belfort, famous fighter, his son has already committed to Alabama.
Really? I did not know that.
His son is in like 8th grade.
Well, I mean,
He's
Alabama
about-
recruits early.
Yep. And the kid is he's big.
Yeah,
he's
well.
a big fucking kid. But apparently he's a quarterback and hasn't even thrown obviously a high school, pass yet.
Right.
But already committed. So that's pretty interesting. And I only know this because I was looking at there's a fight that's going to be happening on Triller. We just going to breeze over this a little bit, but Evander Holyfield is going to fight Vitor Belfort.
Yep.
And it's cool or whatever. Holyfield, Belfort, that could be an interesting fight.
I mean, I'm interested in watching those guys fight.
It's a no-hold-barred fight, but the commentators for this are going to be none other than former President Donald Trump and his son, Donald Trump Jr., which
it's going to be huge.
it's going to be the biggest, best fight ever.
I can't fucking do it. As much as I kind of want to see those two dudes fight, I can't listen to Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr. fucking be analysts on boxing for 2 hours.
I've never, ever in my life illegally streamed anything. But if I was going to not pay to watch something, that would be the one. Just because I could not care less about the fight. Like, sure, I want to watch the fight, but I just want to. I mean, look, let's be real. Like Trump, dislike Trump. It's entertaining because it's kind of like watching, like when you drive past a car wreck on the side of the road.
Exactly.
It's like you want to turn and be like, what the fuck happened there? That's the kind of things like I'm waiting to see what the fuck is he going to say about dog faces and
how did they land on these guys to be the commentators?
It's Trilla, baby.
It's
Trilla in Manila.
This is ridiculous.
It's pretty crazy. But the other thing I learned about Alabama, and albeit I haven't fact checked this completely, but I watched comedian Shane Gillis, who was supposed to be on SNL and then got canceled real quick because of some podcast comments. Funny guy. He put out a special on YouTube yesterday because none of the networks, Netflix or anyone, would have picked his stuff up because it's pretty fucking funny. But he goes on topics that
that some
be
people
acceptable.
will not. Yeah.
On that.
Well, comedy is one of those fucking hard things now. Like, there's some things that I find funny that I'm not allowed to joke about.
Oh yeah.
So.
But either way, he starts talking about Alabama football. He's not an Alabama football fan, but he watched a documentary on the team and about how the team, started adding African American players to the squad or whatever, and they're kind of championing the coach that did that. And then he talks about this moment where he's like, wait a second, this happened in 1971, right after they got beat by a USC team that was filled with African Americans and kicked their asses. And he's like, 1971, we had already put a man on the moon, and Alabama did not have black guys on their football team.
Yeah, that's
like,
fucking crazy.
Should we really be applauding them? And that's the one thing. Like, if you want to promote your cause and end racism or whatever, it's get good at football. Apparently, in the South.
Honestly, sports is one of the best ways. I've had a lot of time at home recently. And I've been going at a lot of people on the internet, people, going at Kaepernick and different things like that. Listen, sports people have always been activists, all right? There's nothing wrong with being an activist. I understand some people are not going to like the methodology, the way some of this fucking goes about. But, like, that's what America does. We've talked about this when we were talking about the Olympics. America does fucking sports. So sports personalities, sports people are going to have a huge fucking platform. So use it.
As sad as it can be, or as bad as it can be for Americans, especially more uncultured, or I don't know how to put it lightly, but just like the racist South back in the day did not like African Americans playing sports. Right. But once they came onto their sports team, started doing good, it's like it opened their eyes a little bit more towards being accepting of other races and things like that. It's not the way to go about it necessarily, but I'm glad that it at least happened and that sports could be that kind of,
that catalyst for a change.
That little way to kind of bring that in. Obviously we wish it would be just more accepting in general, but at least sports, that's a good positive for sports is that we're able to gain some positives in this country because of that.
Yeah. So, absolutely, man. I feel like we went in a whole different tangent from where we were going with college football, though.
That's
college football.
This is just bullshitting, This is the Lineman Lounge. We go over sports and whatever else bullshit we want to talk about.
We absolutely will go off on tangents. And that was a pretty fucking good one. But I'm gonna pull us
I
back in.
couldn't help myself. Yeah, let's
Absolutely.
get back to college football.
Let's get back to college football. So college football upcoming this weekend. Ohio State versus Oregon. I'm very excited for that fucking game. I don't know what is Oregon's guy's name, Ifedi or what the hell's their
The defensive end,
yes.
Clay or Thibodeau, something like that.
I don't remember his name.
Thibodeau.
Ifedi that's the guy that the Browns just signed.
Yeah, Ifedi Odenigbo,
That's
former
it.
Viking. That's the guy that the Browns just signed.
Yep. And then what is Oregon's?
Kayvon Thibodeau
Yeah,
is the
so
defensive end for Oregon.
yeah, projected top 5 pick.
Yeah.
Might be out for that game.
Yeah, he is looking at potentially being the number 1 overall if there's not a quarterback needy team there.
Right, which I mean, quarterbacks they've been getting pumped up at least the last 5 years. They've been fucking going way high.
Yeah.
Potentially not in that game. He's not in that. If he's not playing in that game, I'm not worried. Ohio State's gonna fucking smack Oregon.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited for that. Football. I got football running through my veins. I got college I'm excited about. I got bets. I got fucking pro football. Now, I am going to give you guys some bets, but not on college football this week. We're going to talk about NFL bets as we kind of go along and get into those.
Sure. So another thing that happened over this last weekend, Florida State, Notre Dame. Good game. Specifically, though, what we want to talk about is the quarterback for Florida State, Mackenzie Milton.
Yeah. Mackenzie Milton is the college version of Alex Smith.
Yep.
This is a guy who probably should have been done. Doctors were worried he was never going to walk again without a cane.
Yeah, I think there was a potential for him to lose the leg even.
Yes, there was.
He played for UCF, yeah.
The University of Central Florida. So had arterial damage, nerve damage, almost lost the leg. They didn't think he'd ever be able to play football again, let alone walk without a cane. He comes into that game for Florida State with them trailing 18 points in the fourth quarter. I thought my bet was definitely good there. Notre Dame up 18 points going into the fourth quarter. They should have easily been able to hold on. Mackenzie Milton comes in, gives that team a massive spark, and then almost leads them to a win.
Yeah.
Which it was unlikely they were going to win that game anyways. Notre Dame is a top 10 team. I think they're probably overrated, or I severely underrated Florida State. But the fact that this kid was able to come in and lift his team up was unbelievable to see. Watching his mom in the stands crying, because she is happy and I'm sure fucking terrified of what could possibly happen to her son if he takes another bad hit.
It's one of those feel-good
special.
stories that you really love watching. You love to see it in sports, even if it's for teams that you aren't rooting for. It's one of those awesome things to see. He came out there and helped lead his team to nearly winning. I mean, they lost 41-38, but I mean the performance that he had, it was just kind of it's inspiring, which is another one of those things with sports. Love seeing those inspiring stories, especially in today's climate where it's just lots of negativity out there in the world. It's awesome to see some of these, fonts of positivity.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can make a case that game should not have ended when it did. And we'll kind of talk about this because when it happened, I knew that something bad was going to happen for Florida State. Florida State lines up for a 50-yard field goal. Kicker kicks the field goal. Goes for the uprights. However, Florida State's coach called the fucking timeout to review the spot of the football to move them closer. He iced his own goddamn kicker.
Oopsie whoopsie.
Kicker makes the 50-yarder. Great. You get him closer. He misses the 37-yarder.
Yeah.
And as soon as it happened, I put it on Facebook. I was like, "Oh no, Florida State! Have the faith in your kid. Have the faith in your kicker to go out there and make that fucking kick. Because you know what he did? He made the fucking 50-yarder.
Yeah.
That game probably continues on.
He shouldn't have been, like, if you're going to call the timeout to get a review on that spot, don't do it so close. Like, that should be, like, more of an immediate thing.
Exactly.
And then if it gets close and you still think, oh, maybe we should move up a little bit, at that point in time, it's like, as a coach, you should know I got to be hands off right now and let the guys do what they're going to do.
Yeah, so kickers, much like quarterbacks, can be very mercurial people.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they're in a rhythm, when they're locked in, they're ready to go. And then when you get them out of that, it can really fuck them up.
Yeah.
And
if anything, it almost makes the pressure more because after making that kick, he's probably like, well, fuck. Now it's like I've shown I can do it once. Now it's closer. Like it's even you're just creating a more pressure-filled situation right there. It's rough, but I mean, it showed some good moxie from the Seminoles there to nearly come back from behind and take that game.
Yeah, absolutely. Good on Florida State. I don't know who their new coach is, but he looked like he had those boys ready to play. Brian Kelly made an attempt at one of the worst jokes in fucking history in the postgame.
Yeah.
Saying that his players should be executed when he was trying to make a joke about execution and playing good. Brian Kelly's not a stand-up comedian. I mean, Notre Dame is going to continue on. They're still in the playoff hunt because they didn't fucking lose. I said if Notre Dame isn't going to cover my goddamn bet, they better lose, so they're out of the playoffs early. That didn't happen, but I'm not going to let that derail the excitement that I have for college football and Ohio State playing Oregon this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Quarterbacks. How did you think the quarterbacks did? Like the top quarterbacks?
So Sam Howell, Sam, right? Or
I believe it's Sam Howell.
Sam?
Yeah, I'm talking more quarterbacks that could be going to the NFL in this year.
That's the kid from North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Howell? Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like another guy who maybe came from North Carolina, Mitch Trubisky.
Yep. Though Trubisky's looked better since he's been a backup.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's because Trubisky's a backup.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with being a backup. We've said it countless times on this show. It's okay to have a career as a backup, but that's what he is. Sam did not look good. Spencer Rattler did not impress me. He's supposed to be the number one guy.
Yeah.
They almost lost to fucking Tulane. Like, now that's more so the team as a whole, but Spencer threw 2 picks in that fucking game.
Sure.
So is there anybody that impressed you out of this upcoming group?
Yes, there is one, and I admittedly don't know as much as I would. Like, when the college football season is coming to a close, that's when I really start to pay attention to specific names of players, more so quarterbacks, because I'm always looking towards the future of my team and who our future quarterback could be with Kirk Cousins' contract and the Vikings. Mm-hmm. We're in like a 2 to 3 year window where we are going to be looking for our next quarterback, whether that's Kellen Mond, who we drafted this year. And that's the thing is I don't think that it'll be Kellen Mond. I'm sure there's upside, and I'm glad that we took a quarterback so that way I feel like you should always be taking shots because worst case you get trade
always
capital.
take a quarterback at the back end of the draft.
Worst case you get trade capital if they turn out to be something. But for me, the guy that I liked his performance this weekend was Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati Bearcats. So over his career, it's been so. He's a dual threat quarterback, but he's a bigger guy. I mean, he could put on some more muscle, but he's 6'4", 215. He went out, they played Miami, Ohio, so not the greatest team, but he threw for 295 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And
who are they playing, though?
Miami, Ohio.
Okay.
So not the greatest team.
D1 school, though, at least.
Yeah, for sure. And he plays for the Bearcats, so he's playing D1 school as well.
Cincinnati's good fucking ball club, man.
Yeah.
I love Luke Fickell.
They played a good game against Georgia last year in the bowl game.
I picked Cincinnati to win that game, and I thought they had it last year. Man.
But he's a senior this year. Looking at his overall stats, passing-wise, it's been kind of up and down through his career, so you can definitely tell he's a dual-threat guy. His freshman year, threw for about 2,500 yards. Sophomore year, 2,100 yards. Junior year, 2,300 yards. And he's having, right around that 20 touchdown to 8 or 9 interceptions per year. Okay. But he's also putting up 500, 600, 800 yards rushing each of these years.
I like that.
So in addition to the almost 300 yards passing that he had this last game, he rushed 6 times for 31 yards and a touchdown. So stats, awesome, cool, that's great.
College stats are inflated.
I watched his, like, the cut up of this game. He's actually got a really good arm. Like, I like his mechanics. He throws the ball with really good velocity. His main thing is that it is his accuracy. Like, his decision-making still seems good, but the accuracy, it's there, but it's not, like, on an NFL level yet. Okay. So he will get I don't want to say Case Keenum, because Case Keenum can be pretty wild. Like, he gets it in the hemisphere of where a receiver is, and the receiver will make great catches.
Case needs a guy with a big
catch. He
does
a little bit better than that, but still his accuracy, it leaves you a little wanting, but it could still, he's in college football. He's got time to develop.
Absolutely.
So that's my guy that I'm kind of going to watch more to see.
Josh Allen has proved that you can be a guy who doesn't necessarily throw for a ton of accuracy and improve as you go on in the NFL, get some more high-level coaching. This is a guy that threw less than 60% completion his rookie year. Improved again this last year up to like 67% completion percentage. So you can improve. Everybody used to say that accuracy is the one thing you can't improve. That's not true. Accuracy improves with improved mechanics. So if you improve those mechanics, then you can absolutely improve your accuracy. And if you have a big arm, this kid has a live arm, maybe he does make. I'm gonna have to go back and take a look because I did not see the Cincinnati game.
Desmond Ridder, he's the guy that, like I said, I don't know these names as well yet. I start to look at these college quarterbacks later in the college football season, but right now I'm gonna say he's my guy to kind of watch to see where he starts moving on draft boards, because I don't know that he's really been talked about too much as one of the top quarterbacks coming out of this draft, and there's probably reasons why that I don't know about him. But you always have a guy that people aren't talking about in the beginning of the year. And then you have him get drafted number 2 overall to the Jets.
Yeah, Joe Burrow was a 5th-round pick going into his last year.
Yeah.
And then he improved to number 1.
Yeah. So, guy that I'm interested in watching, Desmond Ridder out of Cincinnati. So, if people want to watch a quarterback or something like that, check him out this weekend.
Who does Cincinnati got this weekend?
Oh, I just had it up. Murray State. So.
Okay, so he's going to fucking light them up.
Should.
And
we'll see how it goes. If he has a down game, then maybe I won't be talking about him next week.
Maybe.
But still, I liked what I saw on the tape as far as his mechanics. He looked like he threw a damn good ball, like pretty fucking fast. So that's some of the things that I like to see out of a guy. Obviously, you got to be able to pull it all together to be an NFL quarterback.
Absolutely, you do. But hey, you can improve, and Cincinnati's gonna be a good fucking team. That is a dark horse team to make the playoffs, even if it's only 4 teams. They absolutely could sneak in there. Poll just came out the other day with the new rankings. Alabama still number 1. Georgia moved up to number 2. Ohio State is at 3. And then who is our number 4 team here? Oklahoma with Spencer Rattler. You got A&M, number 5. They're going to be good, but they play in the SEC. It's going to be tough to get through the SEC with Georgia and Alabama. There's no fucking way 3 teams make it from the SEC. I think Alabama and Georgia are the class of that. Clemson down to 6. Clemson didn't score a fucking point. Fuck you, Dabo. I'm so glad that you guys got the shit beat out of you, because Dabo's the guy who on TikTok doing all his dances. Then he talks about how college players shouldn't be getting paid and it changes the way the game is. And then he doesn't want an 8-team playoff. He made the comment, well, we get in with 4 teams, so we'll get in with 8. Well, not if you're not scoring any fucking points, Dabo.
Very true. Very true.
Cincinnati's at 7. Notre Dame is at 8. Notre Dame is too high, I think. Big matchup this weekend, Iowa State versus Iowa, 9 versus 10. That'll be a very interesting game. I'm going to pull for Iowa because they're Big Ten. When Big Ten schools look good, that makes Ohio State look better. So, and then the Big 12 is in shambles. So,
yeah, absolute shambles. All right, you ready to pop on over to NFL?
Hell yeah.
All righty.
Thursday Night Football, kicks off tonight.
Yep, Cowboys and Bucks.
Cowboys and Bucks. The Cowboys are going to get smacked, right?
Well, I think the Cowboys are going to lose. I think it's going to be so. Typically, when it's the first week of the year, if there's one unit on a team that is going to struggle a little bit, it usually is the defense. So the offense has time to prep plays and get all these plays together, and then the defense, they take a little bit of time to gel. Typically, not always the case. So I feel like the Buccaneers have the better defense.
Yeah.
Buccaneers have the better offense.
Yeah.
But they both have offenses that have high scoring capabilities, lots of star potential and everything on it, that this game could be a very high scoring game. Now, right now, the over-under is 52, according to ESPN. I could see this being like, 30-something to 40-something game if it really gets out of hand. It's, I think, 40% chance of rain tonight.
So that could absolutely
in Tampa.
bring down the scoring.
It could. But if they end up getting good weather, the passing attacks for both of these teams, and then, Zeke, we'll see if Zeke is going to bounce back from last year. I think it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game. I do still have Tampa winning. Again, they just have such a jam-packed roster.
They're returning all 22. Mm-hmm. That's insane. It's never happened before.
With the salary cap and everything, it's pretty crazy for them to do that. They're just trying to keep that dream team together for right now.
Yeah, and there's nothing that tells me that the Buccaneers are going to lose this game. Now, the line on this game has moved. This morning when I looked, it was 8.5. Now it is 9 on the line. So the line is moving in favor of the Bucks. I have no faith in that Cowboys defense. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring from the Buccaneers. I don't know how much offense the Cowboys can put together because Dak has been hurt. Not just coming back from the injury, but throughout camp. He had a shoulder issue.
Yeah, he didn't really play in the preseason because of the shoulder issue that you can see on Hard Knocks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Dak has a good game because I drafted him in fantasy. I've also got Antonio Brown. He's on my bench. But, there's outside possibility of him reaching that wide receiver 20 level in fantasy for PPR because if you just extrapolate the stats from last year, he played, only a quarter of the season, but he still put up almost 500 yards.
Yeah.
He seems like in limited time on the field with Brady that Brady likes to feed him the ball a lot. So,
Brady likes him. He requested him to be down there. He made the push for him to come to New England.
They lived together for a little while. Yeah. They showered together for a while or something like that. So, Brady obviously likes Brown. He saw his talent there in Pittsburgh and is trying to extrapolate that down in Tampa. So I think you were talking with Amber earlier who's going to score the first touchdown of the year or whatever. You think it's going to be Fournette?
I do think it's going to be Fournette. Amber, my wife, has also got into the sports betting. And I told you guys that on September 9th, sports betting in Arizona goes live. It is live today. I am going to move my book. All of my bets have now gone over to the Caesars Sportsbook. Now, I'm not promoting them because they're not a sponsor. However, if they'd like to be a sponsor, that'd be super fucking cool.
Oh, yeah.
Amber's actually betting on the MGM Sportsbook because we have MGM rewards, we have Caesar rewards, so we're dipping both, getting those bets in.
Might as well.
And I'm on Caesar Sportsbook. If you guys are looking to get into a sportsbook, I like Caesars. And one of the bets for tonight is a Super Boost, which is insane. This is free money if you guys want to get in on the sports betting. So if the Buccaneers score at least 1 point versus the Cowboys, that pays even money with a max bet of $50. So that's a free $50 if you bet that.
You're making me want to get into it. If I do sports betting, I do like, is this team going to do better over the entirety of the season type thing. I don't normally do like game day bets or things like that. And this is making me kind of want to do it.
Yeah, that's
excited. Whenever I hear the opportunity to make some money, I'm about it, man.
Yeah, that's free money, and they have a ton of promos going on right now. If you're an Arizona resident, if you bet $100 on the NFL between now and September 30th, you get a authentic NFL jersey. I've already put in enough money for that.
Do you get to choose the jersey?
You do.
Ooh.
You will be sent a gift card or a digital gift card of $150 to the NFL shop.
So are we about to have a Nick Chubb jersey up in this bitch?
We might have I will not wear it, but we will have it. I'm very, very superstitious. I have a bunch of jerseys. Amber has a Myles Garrett jersey. Graydon has Baker Mayfield. I don't wear the jersey of players that I really like because every time I have ever fucking done that, they have flamed out. That's Colt McCoy.
Yep.
I have a Joe
That
Hayden.
might be less about you wearing the jersey.
Yeah,
though.
okay. Well, I mean, he's been around the league for a long time. Joe Hayden. I got a Joe Hayden jersey. That offseason, we fucking cut him, and he goes to the
pride
Steelers.
of the Steelers, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm now I do not wear the jersey of the player that I really like. So if we get a Nick Chubb jersey, it will be up here. I will not fucking put it on because
Sure.
I am not jinxing Nick Chubb.
You know, my stupid superstition is, and it sucks. It's like if I watch the first half of the game, I feel like my team doesn't do that good. And the less I pay attention, the better they do. Which sucks because I want to watch the fucking game.
Right.
So I'm going to do it anyways. But yeah, it's superstitions. I don't really believe in that stuff.
Everybody has their own little superstitions, and don't get me wrong, sometimes it's fucking mysticism.
Yeah.
But there's
We're all about the mysticism on the Lineman Lounge.
we are. There's actually the Caesars has a ton of stuff for if you're an Arizona resident. For every point that an Arizona team scores this weekend, you get $1.
Ooh.
So that's the Arizona Diamondbacks. Every run they score, that's $1. Every point that the University of Arizona scores, every point that the Arizona State Sun Devils score, and the Cardinals. So I'm hoping for high fucking scoring games from all these Arizona teams. I love free money. That's another reason why I got the Bucks scoring at least a point to give me $50.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's absolutely
We're
gonna
going to
hit.
talk afterwards to get me on this shit. And
Yeah.
I feel like making $50. Shit.
I bet the Bucks money line. It doesn't pay a ton, but I'm very confident in the Bucks. I've got a $50 bet on that. And then, however much money you deposit, they will give you a free bet. So they gave me $100 on a free bet, which I turned into a parlay. So I got a 4-team parlay. I got the Washington football team -1. I got the Raiders +4.5.
The Raiders.
Packers -4. I know you don't like hearing that one. And I got the Seahawks -2.5 against the Colts.
Okay.
If that bet hits, that $100 free bet turns into $1,200.
Nice.
So I'm not risking my own money. They're giving me that for free. If I can, I'm going to turn that shit into a big-ass chunk of change.
Oh, yeah. All right. So moving on. Next game. Philadelphia Shithawks and the Atlanta Falcons. Another Shithawk style team.
Yep.
All right. So this game's being played in Atlanta. I've got Atlanta by a slim margin. Honestly, I don't like either team. I don't see a whole lot happening with either team. Possibly the most boring game of the week for me, just because I don't really care too much. This might be where we see Gardner Minshew come in for an injury or something like that. I don't know. Probably not. I'm most excited to see how Kyle Pitts plays for the Falcons, just because I want to see if he actually turns out to be a decent wide receiver or tight end for the Falcons.
Yeah, so looking at this game, I was very back and forth. I actually think I got the Eagles in this game. Rookie tight ends typically have an issue with that transition into the NFL, and that new toy down in Atlanta is a rookie tight end. I don't know if that Falcons defense has improved. I think Jalen Hurts will do enough to get the job done. And when you look at the difference in the running game, Atlanta doesn't fucking have one.
I mean, they got Mike Davis. He's good for putting up like a lot of, if you're talking like fantasy, he's going to get you a lot of runs. I think he's a solid, albeit unspectacular back, but Atlanta has arguably the worst offensive line in football, which does not help his case. It doesn't help Matt Ryan, an aging Matt Ryan. So,
and the Eagles' offensive line is improving. Mm-hmm. They played better in the preseason. We'll see if they can stick with that. But I got the Eagles by a slim margin in that game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game regardless. But Falcons just being at their home, I'm going to lean towards the Falcons for that one.
Okay.
Moving on, Steelers and Bills. I have the Bills as a heavy favorite here.
Me too.
The Steelers, I think, might surprise a little bit, but I'm still not sold on their new offensive scheme. The defense is where it's going to be for the Steelers, but the defense I don't think can compete with Josh Allen and all the weapons that he has on the Bills side. And then there's still this TJ Watt kind of controversy going on with the Steelers.
Yeah, he might not play.
So he's been at practice again. I think he will play. I don't feel in my gut that he's the type of player that's going to hold out, even though he does want this new contract, and he deserves this new contract.
He does.
Big Ben has come out and said, give him a blank check, whatever he wants. I took less money this year so that way we could get TJ Watt signed. It would be very smart of the Steelers to get him under contract and happy.
Yeah.
I think he'll still end up playing even if they don't get the deal done. But Bills should be the heavy favorites here. I see no reason why they're not going to put up big numbers in Orchard Park.
Yeah, the Bills are one of the favorites of the AFC. Josh Allen is a fucking stud. I really like their improved rushing attack. I think Raheem Mostert is going to play a big role in this offense. Was not Mostert.
Not Mostert. He's still with the 49ers.
God damn it. It was a old 49ers running back. Now I got to look it up.
I got you here as soon as the computer catches up. Matt Breida.
Breida.
Which he's actually listed as the third running back on their depth chart.
So
they still have Singletary and then Zach Moss ahead of him, but I think Breida, we all know,
Breida is the more in. He is the veteran, more pure runner, which is what this team needs. So I think he's going to play a big role. Yeah, I got the Bills all day, and anytime I can trash on the Steelers, I'm going to fucking take that opportunity.
Understandable. Sorry for our buddy Sean Maines, but Steelers, I'm not too sure on them this season overall. I think the defense will still show up decent, but your offense, the offensive scheme just through the preseason has looked so funky.
Yeah.
It's not like it's bringing in a college offense to an NFL scheme or something like that.
Their offensive line is terrible.
Yeah, I just don't know what they're doing.
I feel bad for
offense.
Najee. I think Najee's going to be a good back, but he doesn't have an offensive line to run behind it. Everybody's talking about how he's going to be this great running back. Yeah, maybe as soon as they can fucking block.
He hasn't looked good in the preseason, and I keep saying this all the time. Preseason doesn't necessarily mean anything, but you'd like to see some.
I want to see a flash.
Yeah,
and I haven't.
And that's Najee's getting drafted pretty high in fantasy.
There were pundits who said that Najee Harris is going to have a better year than fucking Nick Chubb, and those people are.
I know that has some
outside
their
feelings. Fucking there. Well, I don't. I have no problem laughing in the face of stupid people.
I mean, it is pretty ridiculous. That sounds like a very Homer pick. You know, you have people that are going to say the Texans are going to surprise everyone and win the Super Bowl this year, which is obviously not going to happen.
No.
I would be willing to bet my paycheck on that. But it's Najee. I think he's outside looking in on having a really solid year. He's going to get a lot of reps for sure. But, yeah, I'm not feeling it with that Steelers offense right now.
So, since we just kind of brought up the Texans, you want to move on to that Texans-Jags game?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
All right, so Texans-Jags, they're playing in Houston. It's not going to fucking matter because the Jaguars are going to beat the Texans. Mm-hmm. Now, do I think the Texans are the worst team in the NFL? Yes. Are the Jaguars right above them? Yes. Both of these are bad fucking teams. But the Texans are so bad that I'm going to put a little bit of faith into Trevor Lawrence. Tyrod Taylor has been named the starter in Houston. So Deshaun Watson is not coming back. He's not playing for that team. That was the only way that they were going to have a chance to compete at all this season. Not trying to trash Tyrod, but Tyrod is not the player that Deshaun is. I have no faith that the Texans are going to do a goddamn thing with their 6 fucking running backs they have down there. I do not see the Texans doing much of anything in this game. Tyrod doesn't push the ball down the field to get defenses to back up from the run, and that's what the Texans are going to have to try to do with all that staple of running backs they have because they don't have any goddamn receivers with the exception of Cooks. But Cooks is a deep threat, and Tyrod doesn't push the ball down the field.
Yep, and Texans are trading away. I mean, he wouldn't have played this week anyways because he's suspended for 1 week, but cornerback
Bradley Roby.
Bradley Roby. So either way, like, I don't think the Jaguars are a great team. I think that they are working their way towards being a better team. But at the end of the day, you have so much more talent on that offense. DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, who is a good like wide receiver 3, maybe wide receiver 2 option this week in fantasy, I think, just because he's been a almost safety net for Lawrence in the preseason. You've got offensive talent there. James Robinson running the ball. You've got some offensive talent there, and the foundation of building an okay offense that could potentially do very well if Trevor Lawrence really grows. But I'm not seeing anything special with the Texans that would make me think at all that they are going to be a good football team this year. I could see them not winning a single game.
Yeah, I could see them going on 16. All right, come here, little one. Since you decided to bust in the room, you gonna say hi to everybody? Say hi.
It's a family podcast.
It is a family podcast. This is Elizabeth. I'm Daddy, and this is what's his name? What is his name? Nemo? Yeah. All right, baby. You gotta go. We're gonna finish this. We're gonna finish up doing some podcast stuff. Okay.
Alrighty.
Close the door. All right. Well.
Yeah.
We got a special guest appearance from my little one.
First true guest appearance.
Yep.
Next game, 49ers-Lions. This one, I think the 49ers are going to beat the brakes off the Lions.
Yeah. The Lions are good.
The Lions are another one of those teams that they are not looking to have too many wins this season, I don't think. Very few options on offense. The defense is just not great. 49ers, Garoppolo has been unofficially named the starter. So I believe Shanahan said something like, he's tired of getting questions about who the starter is, that he's already said it. Apparently previously, he had said like Garoppolo's our guy. He's going with that as Garoppolo's a starter. So I think, we might see Trey Sermon break off, a big run here or two. Hopefully start to see some of that potential work where he takes over for Raheem Mostert.
Drafted Sermon in a couple of fantasy leagues. I like his abilities down the road. I don't know if he plays a huge role in this game, but the 49ers are going to be up by a lot.
If they get up a lot, that's where we can start to see a little bit more of maybe even I don't know if Trey Lance would play yet, but they've talked about using like 2 quarterback sets or rotating in the quarterbacks throughout the game, which is a little bit interesting to me. In our league, we were playing with a guy who's a heavy 49ers fan in Mr. Kamai, Joe Rockstar.
No, Joe Rockstar.
And I drafted knowing that because if looking at his team, he's got 5 players from San Francisco on his team. So I overdrafted a little bit on certain positions for 49ers guys that I wanted to get. One of them being Trey Sermon. The other one is I took Trey Lance a little bit later in the draft, which I know is a little bit of a head scratcher, but I think that there's outside potential that they are going to play him towards the end of the season, that Garoppolo could get hurt or they could be doing bad, and they're going to put Lance in there to see if he gives them an uptick, and he's got potential to be top 10 quarterback, top 5 quarterback just with his pure talent. Now, that's just fantasy talking. If we're talking regular NFL, I'm not wanting him to start this year. Again, we've talked about this. I want him to sit and get acclimated to the NFL. But fantasy-wise, I think there's outside potential that later on in the year he could be a game or a league-winning quarterback for a team. So overdrafted him a little bit, probably, admittedly so. But I was looking at Joe Rockstar's roster, and I was like, oh, he's going to go for a second quarterback. He loves the 49ers, got a big heart on for him. He might go for Lance. Same with Trey Sermon. I took him a little bit earlier than I wanted to, but I knew that if I didn't take him when I did, that there was a high probability that he would go for him. So I'm hoping Sermon gets a little bit more playing time this game, just because I think it is going to end up being a blowout.
Yeah.
And that they're going to start playing some of those other guys, not your necessarily number one on the depth chart guys. I'd like to see a little bit of run from them.
Yeah, 49ers are going to smack the Lions. Lions are not good. I hope that the Lions get better under Dan Campbell. It's not right now. They have no wide receivers. They don't have, Their offensive line hasn't been good. Their fucking defense hasn't been good. And the 49ers don't have to beat you by having Jimmy G throw the ball 30 times a game. They're going to run the ball, and they're going to beat you with defense.
Absolutely. And hopefully the 49ers stay healthy because they're going to be a good team in the NFC this year.
As long as they stay healthy, they're very
and health
good.
has been their biggest issue over the past couple seasons. Going to our next game, Arizona Cardinals and the Titans. This game's being played out there in Tennessee. Titans look to have a absolutely stacked offense. Cardinals look like they have a stacked passing offense, potentially, if Kyler can really fill into that role. I got Tennessee taking this game. It'll be a little bit closer. I think it's going to be one of those more offensive-heavy games in general, though Tennessee does have a decent defense on them. It's Tannehill has always kind of scared me as a quarterback. Fantasy-wise, he's done very well fantasy-wise, and he's one of those guys that you can get later in the draft that is going to be very consistent for you. But, I mean, just between Derrick Henry, they're going to try to run the ball down their throats a lot. And then now they've just got kind of a stacked wide receiver core. I don't see how Tennessee, if Tennessee doesn't win this game and doesn't continue to have a very good offense, then they need to start looking at their coordinator and being like, what's going on? We've got too much talent here between Julio and AJ to not be putting up massive numbers on people.
Yeah, I was back and forth on this game. I think that the Titans do win, but I think it's a close game. That Tennessee defense is good in their front seven, but they are bad on the back end, and that is what Arizona is going to do. They're going to throw the ball all over the fucking yard. So I think that they keep it close, but I think Tennessee finds a way to grind out this game with Derrick Henry, and they get the win. They're going to control time of possession. If they can control field position, Tennessee's going to have this game.
Yeah, what really leans me more towards Tennessee is that Tennessee is going to have a consistent run game, and I believe that's, you set up the pass by having a strong run game and making them really commit to stopping your running back, which Derrick Henry, one of the top backs in the league, of course they're going to have to worry about stopping them. On the other side of the ball, for the Cardinals, you've got James Conner and Chase Edmonds as your runners. Yeah. So James Conner is going to kind of be that average, steady runner. He's more of the running back out of that backfield, and Chase Edmonds is more of your receiving back. I don't know that they're going to be able to really solidify that run game to set up the pass as much. They're going to have to go a lot more of that air raid style offense and really attack through the pass. And like you said, Tennessee's front seven is much better than their back end. So if Arizona wants a chance to win this game, they're going to have to really be throwing the ball around a lot.
Yeah, they're going to have to. And I don't dislike Kyler. I don't trust Cliff yet. I think there's a lot of Arizona fans that are in that same boat. I don't trust
Cliff. Either of them. I don't trust Cliff or Kyler. I think this is Kyler's make or break year. If he doesn't show that, market improvement and that he can lead his team in a very tough division, he might be not on the outs. I mean, they're going to stick with him for a little bit, but I think that they're going to have to start considering.
I don't think we'll be having the conversations that Kyler's a top 100 player if he doesn't show out this year.
Yeah. Seahawks and Colts.
It's the Seahawks because I don't trust Carson Wentz.
Yeah, it sounds like Wentz is probably going to be starting this game.
Yeah, good for them, but I don't trust Carson at all. I don't trust that he's going to stay healthy. They have a good running game. They have a very good defense, but Carson doesn't have any weapons either. He's got Michael Pittman right now. Michael Pittman is it. I guess Mo Alley Cox. But I'm not sold on Mo Alley Cox.
Mo Alley Cox, his biggest game was pretty much versus the Vikings last year, and I saw that, and it's just because we were committed to stopping everything else on the team, and that was the one guy that we weren't covering, albeit our defense was atrocious last year due to injuries and people sitting out because of the COVID year. But it's Michael Pittman for them, and then the running backs. I don't trust Carson Wentz's health. Honestly, to get every game, I'm going to say this that he's playing is I'm scared about his health. I think he's going to get hurt.
Yeah. Now, and the line is moving on that game as well. I got it at 2.5. The ass crack of dawn this morning when I was up struggling to sleep, I had them at 2.5. The Seahawks line now is 3. So Seahawks -3. I think they still cover that even. But 2.5, I was definitely hopping in on. They're going to win by at least a field goal. I don't see the Colts. I mean, the Colts are a very good team, but so are the fucking Seahawks. Russell Wilson is going to come out and play like a man possessed, especially with all the shit that has happened this offseason.
Yeah, so that's the thing too with the Seahawks is if you look traditionally, Russell Wilson in the first half of the season
Is
really
MVP.
balls out, and then Pete Carroll starts to go back to more of his traditional USC, just run the ball a lot type of offense. Whereas in the beginning of the year, he kind of lets Russell just go out and do his thing and
Let
really
Russell
ball
cook.
out. So that's what I think we're looking at the beginning of the year is that Seahawks are going to be very strong in the beginning of the year. They might peter off towards the tail end of the year just to kind of coast into the playoffs or attempt to. This game, I do think it could be closer. I think that Seahawks probably will win by at least a field goal, like you said, just because I don't trust Carson Wentz and how he's going to control that offense.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat.
Alrighty.
So.
Next game, LA Chargers and the Washington football team. So, Washington football team, Adam Schefter reported this past week that they have 8 options narrowed down for their final team name. I was going to kind of throw those at you and see what you think about them. All right. So they've got the Red Hogs, the Defenders, the Armada, the Presidents, the Brigade, Commanders, Red Wolves, or the Washington football team.
So I don't dislike the Washington football team. I don't have a problem with them staying with that name. But out of those, give me the Armada. I
Yep.
like the Armada.
I think the Red Wolves is probably the lead right now, and it's the one that I can get behind the most. I think that the whole Red Tails thing would have been cool, but they don't have that as one of their options. I guess they're not trying to play on some of the political climate and things like that, even though they are having like the presidents and stuff out there. I think that's a bad play to go with the presidents because
Don't pick the fucking presidents.
there are too many left and right wing issues with presidents and stuff like that going on in politics. You kind of want to separate yourself a little bit from that.
Yeah, the ebb and flow of your fan base, if you have the name of the presidents, is going to be so drastic.
Yeah, I don't really like the Red Hogs because even though they've got
The
that whole
hog thing going.
hog thing going for them, I think that that's kind of cool to be separate from the team itself. So Red Wolves for me is kind of where it's at, even though it doesn't roll off the tongue as nicely as I would like. But I like logos and stuff like that. I think it would be cool for them. I'm not high on Washington football team just because it seems so weird. It just feels like a placeholder to me. But
I think
suppose I could
people
see
have
it
just gotten
roll
so
with it.
used to the Washington football team now that if they kept it, I think people would be okay.
I think they're losing out on an opportunity for marketing,
Yeah,
for
I
new
agree.
apparel, all that stuff by not switching the team name. So I feel like that will push them to lean away from just Washington football team as well. But it'll be interesting to see. But either way, the game, Washington and Chargers.
I got Washington. I really like their fucking defense, man. That defense is so
Could be one of the best in the
Good.
league this year.
Yeah, if there's a team that I would take their pass rush other than the Browns, it's Washington. Chase Young is a fucking animal.
Oh, yeah.
He is so goddamn good. And I kind of think that Justin Herbert might take a step back.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can put up those same kinds of numbers. Now, I know you drafted Austin Eckler
I
in
did.
a couple of fantasy drafts. I'm not real high on Austin Eckler. Now, obviously, if you're in a PPR league, he has potential for run and pass. He's going very high in fantasy drafts. I'm not a huge Austin Eckler guy. And can that offensive line be solidified? Justin Herbert had a very good year last year behind a not great offensive line. Are they that much better?
I think that they're better. That much better? I don't know. The offensive line is a little bit improved, but not significantly.
Are they good enough to hold off that fucking Washington defensive line? I
Yeah,
don't
so-
think so.
I have Washington winning this game. I had Washington winning this game before news came out yesterday that Eckler came up with a hamstring injury and didn't practice. He still has a couple more days. I'm obviously for fantasy's sake, I'm hoping that he turns out okay. One of the reasons, so I drafted Eckler at 6 in our fantasy draft. over like a Kelsey, over Zeke Elliott, Saquon Barkley, because he has shown to be both a good runner and a receiver, which is good for PPR leagues. What also I like about him is that the team has brought in Joe Lombardi this year to be their offensive coordinator. I like what he did in New Orleans.
Yeah.
He did a lot of running back heavy stuff, and it wasn't just running the ball. It was getting them heavily involved in the game because, I mean, you have Kamara over there. You've seen what he did with him. I like how that offense could be geared towards Eckler. Now, with Eckler hurt, that even drops the Chargers a little bit lower for me, though, because I think that Washington's defense is what really puts them, above the Chargers in this game.
Yeah.
Antonio Gibson, another guy that I drafted. He was solid for me last year in fantasy, and I like him a lot. Like, he wasn't really a running back in college, and he came to the Washington football team. He came to Washington last year and looked like an NFL running back.
Yes, he did.
Both a runner and a receiver. And he didn't play the entire year as the starter. Adrian Peterson, when he was with the team, said, "This guy's the real deal." And that's
If
high
Adrian
praise
Peterson
from
says
a very
that,
good running back.
If Adrian Peterson says you are the fucking real deal, I believe.
Like, AP was one of those guys, like, he is kind of like MJ, where he's like, I always want to be the starter, but he was not upset to be cut from the team and have that guy take his job. He was like, yeah, I kind of understand. This guy's the real deal. So I think that Antonio Gibson is going to make their running game that much better. Is going to help them kind of run that classic, run the ball, score you some points, and let your defense hold out the other team from scoring anything. So Washington, the line right now is even on this game.
It's a pick 'em.
I do think that Washington has this game. I don't think the line should be even. I think people probably are leaning a little bit into Herbert's offensive rookie of the year season last year, which by all means he looked phenomenal. I don't know if he'll take a step back, but I don't think that he's enough to put them above Washington at this point.
Yeah, that defense is just so fucking good. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm leaning to Washington there. And like you said, it is a pick 'em, so 50-50 there on your money.
Next, Jets and Panthers. So again, this game to me a little bit boring, except for I want to see how Darnold does with the Panthers, and I want to see how Wilson does in his first NFL start. That's pretty much all I'm caring about in this game.
The only important part of this game is the quarterback play. I don't trust Darnold. I am also not sold on Zach Wilson. You guys have all heard me talk about it before. But
This is a game that I would put the line at even, but right now they have Carolina -4. Yeah.
-4 for Carolina. And I think Carolina wins. I don't know if they cover because I think the Jets are improved. It will be very much dependent on how Zach Wilson plays.
Yeah, I'm picking the Panthers as well, but it's more so because I just have this history of knowing the Jets are not good.
Yeah.
And that's where it is for me right now. I mean, it's not necessarily logical because it's different year, different team, but I just know that the Jets always find a way to mess up.
Yeah, I got no faith in the Jets. Give me the Panthers. All right, and then we got what? One more 10 o'clock game. That's the Vikings and Bengals, right?
Yeah.
Before we get into the afternoon games.
Vikings and Bengals.
Vikings and Bengals. So for me, I got the Vikings in this game. The Bengals offensive line's not good. You guys have just brought back your boy, Everson Griffin. I think the pass rush
First game that we're going to see Daniil Hunter in over a year.
Yep, I think the pass rush absolutely plays a factor. Jamar Chase has not looked very good.
Yeah, I mean, Jamar Chase is going to be Jamar Chase, I think. I think he's going to be a good wide receiver, but
Did you
obviously he's
see
had
his
drops.
report? Did you see what he said? He said it was hard to see the ball, and that's why he couldn't fucking catch
Yes,
it.
and that's been walked back a little bit. So Pro Football Talk put out an article saying that Jamar Chase was talking about how it's tough to see the football in the NFL because it doesn't have the white stripes like the college football does. It's a little bit bigger. And then he tweeted again this morning saying, they asked me what's the difference between a college football and an NFL football.
Oh, okay.
And so he says, don't mix my words, blah, blah, blah. He kind of clapped back at him a little bit. Either way, it doesn't make a difference. He's been dropping a lot of balls in the preseason, and a wide receiver with the drops is not good because that really starts playing mental games with them.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Burrow going back for Cincy is awesome for their offense, obviously.
Yep.
But how much is he going to trust his knee? I don't know. Their offensive line isn't that great. They have a slew of great receivers and an awesome running back in Joe Mixon. So it'll be a good test for the Vikings and their retooled defense. You know, we have a whole new set of cornerbacks. We're bringing back defensive line where it was very weak last year. And now we got stalwarts back out there for us. Our linebackers are looking good. There's an outside chance that Anthony Barr plays. I have the Vikings not just because I'm a homer, maybe because I'm a homer, but I have us winning. I think we're going to win by roughly 10 points, honestly.
Ooh.
I see it being like a 24-13, 24-17 type of score.
The line is 3 right now.
But I think that the Vikings defense will show up. They might be average, which will be enough to hold the Bengals offense back. But our offense is what's really going to win us this game. Trey Wayne's former Vikings cornerback, he's not playing.
Yep.
And they don't really have a whole lot else going for them as far as defensive back depth. Their line is okay. I feel like our offense is going to be able to go out there and just kind of eat, and that'll end up putting us ahead. Now, this is the Bengals. First time that Zimmer's gone back and played them, I believe, since leaving as their defensive coordinator. He knows Cincy as far as like the stadium, things like that. I think he'll have the team prepped, ready to go. And he said last year, like, I've never had a bad defense until this year. I'm going to make sure that we have a good defense.
Yep.
And I think he's going to be really rough on his guys to do what they can to show up and show we are a Zimmer defense again.
Right.
We're going to be strong.
Your vastly improved defensive line. You get Daniil back. You get Everson back. You add Sheldon Richardson back into the fold against a very weak Bengals offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Mixon's going to have a hell of a game if they're going to stay in this game to get some pressure off of Burrow. I don't trust the Bengals, and I feel they should have drafted Penny Sewell. But yeah, I got the Vikings for sure, man.
Yeah, Penny Sewell would have been my pick for them as well, just because Jamar and Burrow played together, and that would be a fun option. But you already have good receivers in T. Higgins and everything.
Yeah.
So protect your investment, protect your long-term investment, and get him a line. But didn't really happen.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's take a break. I got to use the bathroom, and we're at an hour in right now. Then we'll come back. We will hit up the afternoon games and the Monday night game, and then we'll get into a mailbag question, and then we'll kind of wrap it up, I think.
All right, sounds good.
All right, guys. So this is the Lineman Lounge. You follow us on social at Lineman Lounge on Twitter. We got a Facebook group and a page. You can also go on the TikTok, Lineman Lounge. And then there's also the Instagram. Once again, I'm still sucking at putting shit on Instagram, but I'm going to try to get better. I say that all the time. But eventually, you'll get some more content on there. We'll be right back. All right, what's going on, guys? We are back. Needed to take that little break. Had to use the bathroom. Charge the battery. And we got the man over here signed up for the Caesars Sportsbook.
Might have just lost myself a little bit of money.
No. I'm definitely going to make some money tonight when the Bucks score and
At
beat
least
the hell.
1 point.
Yeah.
Gesundheit.
Excuse me. Thank you. So if you guys like the idea of betting along with the show, I know Evo definitely likes that idea now.
I mean, we'll see if I win a majority of these bets or win some money. I'm probably gonna have to keep on going with it. So.
Obviously. I mean, I don't feel like you're gonna have too much problems tonight. Bucks definitely probably gonna look to take that win, and they're not getting shut out. So that $50 bet on them scoring at least 1 point is gonna pay. So that's always nice when you can make some free fucking money. But
yes, sir.
I'm gonna sneeze again. Let's get into the afternoon games for Sunday.
Okay. So we got the Dolphins at the Patriots in Foxborough.
Dolphins at the Patriots. So interesting game. Rookie quarterback starting in Mac Jones for the Patriots. Patriots are going to be drastically improved from what they were last year. I have a hard time betting against Bill Belichick. it's like betting against Alabama or betting for Notre Dame. That never
Mm-hmm.
fucking works out. So I'm going to go with the Patriots. I think the Patriots will find a way to get it done. I think Mac is going to be efficient, and I think that's all he'll have to be. I'm not sold on Tua. I think that Patriots defense is going to give him fits. That Patriots defense is drastically improved. They're getting guys back from COVID. They had some big time free agent signings, and I think Patriots actually find a way to get this done.
Yeah, with this being in Foxborough and being kind of a rivalry game, I'm leaning towards the Patriots. I think it's going to be closer. I think Tua has improved, at least what we saw in the preseason. I'm looking forward to seeing how he actually does in the regular season. I think the Dolphins have a pretty solid team, that they're an under-the-radar team this year. But I do have the Patriots squeaking this one out, but I'm not going to be surprised if the Dolphins win.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if the Dolphins win. The Dolphins are a fringe playoff team, and I think that's kind of in the same region that the Patriots are. I don't know if the Patriots will have enough offensive firepower. I like Mac Jones, but they don't have a ton of weapons outside of their tight ends in Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, but Hunter Henry is off injured. And, I mean, they got a stable running backs, though. That's the Patriot way. That's what they're going to do. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play good defense. Dolphins could win this game, but
I feel like the Patriots are going to have that slow and steady game, just keep chipping away, and then when it comes down to the end of the game, it could be them, last-minute field goal, something like that ends up putting them ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and the Patriots have been known to, win those close games with a field goal. I don't know who the fuck their field goal kicker is anymore because Gostkowski's gone.
Couldn't tell you.
I know they have a kicker, unlike the Lions, who actually do now have a kicker.
They do now have a kicker.
They do. But yeah, I got Patriots in that game.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, I just move off of that because I wanted to see who the kicker was to move on to our next game here.
All right. Well, I can
Doesn't
preface.
really matter.
I can preface our next game. We'll talk Broncos and Giants because I'm going to save the Browns Chiefs for towards the end there.
Okay.
So Broncos Giants. This game is going to be played in New York, but I don't think that's going to matter. I got the Broncos winning this game. I think Teddy Two Gloves is going to come out and perform well. That Denver Broncos team is stacked with talent outside of the quarterback position. They are excellent on defense. Von Miller is coming back. He looks like he is healthy. He is highly motivated. Just had a child. I think that is going to, kind of raise his spirits. He's been down at least last year. I know he was injured. I expect the Broncos to come out, play very aggressive defense, and they will run the ball, and they'll use play action off of that and let Teddy Two Gloves do what he does and manage a game.
Yeah, I think the Broncos are the better team here. Again, quarterback is kind of their biggest question mark. Yep. But I feel like they don't have to fight beyond what their average is in order to be better than the Giants, and that they can do that. They, again, can stay strong on defense and just steady running the ball on the offense. They've got those offensive weapons at wide receiver.
Yep.
And that will be enough to put them ahead of the Giants. Giants are going to have to lean on Saquon. We'll see if he is actually healthy.
Is he going to play?
Quads, I think he'll play. But Giants defense is getting better. They've added pieces this offseason. They do have some receiving talent, but Danny Dimes is just not going to do it for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what ends up putting the Broncos ahead.
Yeah, I don't trust Danny Dimes. He is very loosey-goosey with the football. He has so many fucking fumbles. He is known to push the ball into windows he should not push the ball into against a very, very good secondary for the Broncos. One of the best safety tandems in the league. They're stacked at corner. Good pass rush with Bradley Chubb and Von Miller. So, yeah, Broncos all the way. And I hate saying that because I don't like the Broncos. I got a lot of friends and family that are big Broncos fans. They love the Broncos. They love talking about how the Broncos are so goddamn good, even though they're not that great. They are going to be drastically improved, but they're playing in a very, very tough division. I mean, they got to play the Chiefs twice. That's 2 losses. I think the Raiders could still potentially be pretty good. And the Chargers with Justin Herbert. I think Herbert takes a step back, but I still think that team is pretty fucking solid.
Yeah.
So the Broncos are a drastically improved team, but they're missing the key piece. I'm a Browns fan. I know what that's like when you don't have that solid quarterback. You are going to lose some games you probably shouldn't lose. This is not one of those games, though.
Yep. No disagreements there. Next, we've got the Packers and Saints playing in Jacksonville because of the recent weather down in New Orleans. So it's a Saints home game, but they're playing away. I heard something somewhere saying that the Saints chose to move the game or lobbied to have the game moved to Jacksonville because it would cost more for Packers fans to go there than it would for their fans to go there. Just a little fuck you to the Packers. I'm about that.
Yeah,
I'm always about that. I'm not a Saints fan either because the Saints and the Vikings have a tumultuous history. But I put this as kind of my upset game.
Yep.
With the Saints winning. I'm still sticking with that. Lions Green Bay -4, but I think people, myself included, might be sleeping a bit on Jameis. The more that I'm kind of watching and looking into it, I think Jameis is going to be better than we were expecting. It's whether or not his supporting cast can be enough to put him over to the top. I'm hoping to see a little bit of hangover with the Packers. Devontae Adams came out this week and said no way that he's getting an extension done before the first game. I expected that. I don't expect him to look at any sort of contracting extension until he knows what is going on with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
And Aaron Rodgers is going to be leaving, which I think means Devontae is going to be leaving unless they offer him stupid fuck you money.
They're going to have to give up so much money to keep him. I don't see the Packers having either one of those guys after this season, but they are there this season. I've got the Packers, and I kind of have a personal fuck you against the Saints right now for what they did to Latavius Murray.
So it's not uncommon what happens. This just it got publicized a little more.
Yeah, so it's the way they went about it. I understand cutting a guy who, maybe is not in your plans, even though I think Latavius was in their plans. They wanted him to take a pay cut. And he said, I'm not going to take the pay cut. They knew that they wanted him to take the pay cut. If you're going to cut him if he won't take it, you got to cut him early so he can catch on with another team.
The timing of it's not great at all.
They waited, trying to box him into a corner, saying, listen, you're going to take this pay cut or you're going to get cut, and now you're going to struggle to make it onto a roster because basically every roster is filled for week 1. Latavius isn't going to get a look at all until at least the end of the first week because teams are already starting to put in their game plans, and he's not going to be a part of it. Like, you're not going to sign him right now to pay him and not have him be a part of your game plan. So the Saints did him dirty and cutting him as late as they did. I think it's kind of fucked up the way they did that. I get cutting a veteran guy who's making a little more money than you want, but you signed him to this deal. Like, we expect players to, honor their contracts, play for what you signed your contract for.
And the team should do
team should do the same fucking thing. Like, we always go at these players like, oh, he wants more money. Well, when you do these kinds of things to players, get your fucking money as soon as you can because this kind of shit's going to happen.
Like, the thing is that I think Latavius has lived up to his contract. I mean, it's not like he's making crazy money, and he's been exactly what the team wants. He's a second running back. He's more of a hard-nosed runner. He's a different back than Kamara. He's doing the job that he's there to do.
And he was only making like $3 million.
Yeah, and you don't have an upgrade on the roster.
No, not at all.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I do think they did him dirty. I think this happens a lot more in the NFL than we see. It's just this was a little bit more of a bigger name player.
Well, and Shannon Sharp came out and said this is fucked up. That's how I saw this whole thing go down. And so I'm off on the Saints. Fuck the Saints. Go Pat, go. I'm sure you did not enjoy hearing me say that.
Hey, I mean, you can say what you want to say.
I know.
I don't agree with you.
Obviously. Well, I mean, That's how we get famous, right? We just have bullshit arguments that nobody believes are actual arguments.
I mean, I'll respect your argument for this Go Pack Go thing, but whenever I hear Go Pack Go, I just hear which is fine.
Which is fine.
I mean, who doesn't like
Yeah.
gagging?
Yeah, that's exactly what that was.
Yeah.
There were no other insinuations there.
Yeah. Anyways, Saints, I got them by a slim margin. I actually put a bet on them to
Yes,
win.
you did.
I do think that would be an upset. They're probably outside options to win. I'm going for the underdog in this one because I think they do have a chance to beat the Packers. And yeah, it's my hope that actually happens. Not just because I dislike the Packers, but now because I got money on the game.
There you go. You're even more invested in that game.
Oh, yeah. So last of our early afternoon games here,
Yep.
Chiefs and Browns.
Chiefs and Browns. So you guys heard me talk, thinking that you're saying, obviously I'm a huge Browns fan. I just was nervous that Andy Reid with a bunch of extra time and that unbelievable Kansas City Chiefs team, they're going to be tough to beat. Well, the line is moving. The line was at 6. It's down to 5.5. And I can't fucking do it. The Browns are going to beat the goddamn Chiefs in Arrowhead, and we are going to make a statement in week 1. I wanted to say the Chiefs and bet with my head. I'm betting with my fucking heart. Let's go Brownies. Let's go out there and show that we are not only the biggest threat to Kansas City in the AFC, that we are the biggest threat to the Buccaneers for a potential fucking Super Bowl run. The season for the Browns gets off on a high note, taking the Browns against the Chiefs.
Yeah, so that was my second kind of upset pick. You know, I didn't truly commit to it, but I'll say this. Chiefs, one of the best teams in the AFC. Completely respect them, completely respect Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and what they can do. I do think that they are a bit overrated and that they get a lot of credit because of Mahomes and because they went to the Super Bowl last year. I think that they have, you know, their offensive line at the end of the season and going through free agency and stuff. I was like, man, this thing's in shambles. And now it's actually looking like it's going to be a pretty decent offensive line. But I'm just not seeing – I see Mahomes to Tyreek Hill, and then I see a bunch of other guys. Now, the Packers have done that for years. They have other guys with a talented quarterback who makes it work with those guys. And I think that they can do that for sure. Edwards-Helaire is a good running back.
I think he is a little overrated.
He was overrated definitely at the beginning of the year last year, and then he tapered off some. I still think that he could be a good running back, but I think top to bottom, the Browns are a better team.
I agree.
I believe that if they were to lose this game, it's just because they're not playing up to their potential. And I would like to see the Browns play up to their potential. I think that they have a chance at winning this game. This is going to be a very close one, I think.
Yes.
Because we're watching playoff football in week 1, in my opinion. So it's a game that I'm going to have a fun time watching. I have the Browns eking it out. I think they keep Dwayne Rudd on the sidelines.
Yeah, fuck.
With his helmet on. The guy's been retired for a little bit. He's going to stay on the sidelines with his helmet on.
Yeah, when that got posted to the social, I was like, fuck.
Hey, Dwayne Rudd, former Viking player as well.
Yeah.
I like Dwayne Rudd.
Back when the Browns invented new ways to fucking lose games.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, check out the Lineman Lounge on Facebook. Posted on there last night. It was, 17 years ago, 19 years ago, something like that the Browns and Chiefs last played in week 1. And the Browns were winning that game. Chiefs were making a run, and Dwayne Rudd kind of made a buffoon play.
Yeah.
Time had expired. He whips his helmet off while the play is going on and gets a defensive penalty. Game can't end on a defensive penalty. It puts the Chiefs within field goal range, and Morton Anderson kicks one through the uprights to finish the game out for the Chiefs with a win.
40-39.
Yeah. It's one of those crazy games in NFL history.
It's one that as soon as you say the name Dwayne Rudd, like, people in Cleveland instantly get upset. They're like, that was the epitome of Cleveland Browns football at that time. They were literally finding new ways to lose games.
Yep.
And then, I mean, there's so many of those other ways. Like, as a Browns fan, you got the drive, the fumble, the fucking that play. You got the kick six losing to the fucking Ravens. I'm so excited for this season. I cannot wait to watch the Browns beat the fucking Chiefs and get the season started off right. This will be the first time the Browns have won in a week one if they pull this off in so long. I don't even remember how many years. I think it's 12 fucking years since they've won in week one, maybe even longer than that. Another thing that scared me about picking the Browns is we're terrible in week one. We got the shit beat out of us last year in week one. But same offense.
In Arrowhead.
Yeah, in Arrowhead. Same offense, though. Same head coach, same offensive coordinator, same defensive coordinator. That has not happened in Cleveland in who knows how long. And the last time it did, I'm pretty sure it was Rod Chudzinski, and we sucked before. So, yeah, I'm very excited. I got the Browns, baby.
I'm really hoping that next time you see us that we will both be very happy souls because both of our teams have walked out of week one with a win.
Absolutely.
So Sunday night game, we've got Bears and Rams.
It's the Rams. It's not even fucking close. Even if they were starting Justin Fields, the Rams would beat the Bears. The Rams are so superior to the Bears in basically every facet of the game. The Rams have one of the best defenses in football. The Bears have a very good defense, but we've talked about it before. They are aging. They have released some guys that...
They're not the Bears defense of a year ago,
They are
2
not.
years ago.
They are not. And that Rams defense is almost the same fucking group, with the exception that they lose John Johnson and Troy Hill, who come over to the Browns, who are going to be vital pieces for us.
Yeah, Donald's going to be eating Dalton's ass all day.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, is they're starting Andy fucking Dalton as QB1. I still don't understand. I mean, okay, I get it. He's a rookie. Sit him, let him learn. Andy Dalton is not a fucking starting quarterback in this league anymore.
Okay, I go back to the Seahawks. They brought in that former Packers quarterback to be their starter, traded a second-round pick for him, and drafted Russell Wilson in the same year, I believe.
Yep.
Russell beat him out. He was just the better player as a rookie.
And Russell started.
You got to go with the better player. I understand sitting a rookie quarterback, but usually that's if there's questions in that rookie starter and you actually have a solidified starter in place. Dalton is an average at best starter at this point in his career on a not so good offense, and you have a guy that clearly outperformed him in the preseason and is clearly outperforming him in practice. You got to go with the guy that gives you the best chance to win, unless you are expecting to just have a losing season and this is part of a rebuild. And I don't know that they've committed to that. I don't know that Nagy's committed to that because I think Nagy thinks that he's going to be there. He should be. He should be fighting for his job, and it doesn't seem like he's fighting.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's fighting for his job. Why are you not playing your best quarterback?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense, and that does not play well in a locker room at all. Play your best fucking players. Guys in the locker room can see who is the better quarterback. They can see what's happening. And you playing Andy Dalton for some unknown reason is not going to sit well. Like
Players are going to get disgruntled after a couple losses.
And it's going to happen fucking quickly.
Yeah. And then, like you said, the Rams are just overall a better team. Even if Fields is playing, I still have the Rams winning this game.
Yep. Defense
is one of the best in the league. And their offense, there is optimism for them having a very good offense. Stafford is in a better situation now with a team that seems like they want to win. And the Lions never seemed like they really wanted to win.
Nope.
And then you have two receivers in Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, who I think are both going to be over 100 catches, over 1,000 yards this year. It's kind of a no-brainer. That's why the line is Rams by 7.5.
Yeah, Rams by a ton.
Yeah, so kind of a no-brainer pick here. Rams should win this one if you're looking to bet.
Now it does hurt the Rams offense to lose Cam Akers, but I think Sony Michel can come in and help kind of revitalize his career and provide a nice little 1-2 punch with Henderson for that Rams back.
And I think Henderson is someone that people have slept on a little bit. I think he's a better running back than was given credit for. I think he still will be their lead back. He's a good receiver as well. And that Michelle, I think, has the opportunity to come in and possibly win the starting job, but not right away. I think Michelle will be a part of the offense for sure. It's a good spot for him to revitalize his career, but I'm still leaning more on Henderson as being the main guy there. And yeah, that's the running game is going to be less necessary for them because of how good their passing offense can be.
Yeah, and Stafford's a stud. I mean, I get it. He was a Lion. Everybody calls him Pad Stafford. He was a baller. The dude has so much fucking talent. I don't know why people hate on Stafford so much.
You got to think he's just got to be, so goddamn excited to be out of Detroit. Like, I'm sure that, he loves the Detroit fans and stuff like that, but just the way that team was run, never really giving them an opportunity to be that great. You waste talents like Megatron and stuff like that, and now he's going to a place that's like, yeah, we're committed to winning.
And
we do a lot of roster moves and stuff like that to bring in veteran players that are good, and we're making moves to make our team better because we think that we have a chance every year to make a deep run in the playoffs. And finally, he gets to be part of that atmosphere. He's got to be overjoyed.
Yeah, and when they were good in Detroit with Caldwell as their coach, they went 10-6, and they fucking fired Caldwell. Like, if you're 10-6 as the fucking Lions, that's a good goddamn year. How the fuck do you fire him and bring in another failed coach from New England? It didn't make sense. I'm happy for Stafford. Rams roll the Bears in this one.
Yep.
And then Monday night, Ravens, Raiders. So kind of preface this on the last episode that this was my upset pick. I think the Raiders beat the Ravens on Monday night. Talked about it before.
The line still has Baltimore winning, but I don't think that this game is that far apart. I think the Raiders absolutely have a good opportunity to win this game.
Yeah, so the line is 4.5 right now. Now, if the Raiders, I think for sure are going to cover. That's why I made it as part of my parlay. But I think they can win this game. It's the first Monday night game of the year. It's the first time you're in Las Vegas, getting fans in your stadium. And the Ravens have been so banged up, man. I really like the Raiders here.
So that's the thing is that Derek Carr is what he is. Some people think he's way better. Some people think he's not very good at all.
I think he's mid-tier.
Yeah, he's mid-tier with arm talent to push him higher. On top of that, you've got some receiving options in Waller. There's a wide receiver for them, Edwards, who I think is actually going to lead the team in receptions out at wide receiver. That people are sleeping on. I just dropped him in our fantasy league. But they have running options in Jacobs, and also they brought in Kenyon Drake, so two talented running backs. And then
guys who do different things as well, so that helps create multiple options in the backfield.
And their defense, it's not the best, but right now the Ravens offense has become very one-dimensional. They don't have receiving options really because they're hurt.
Yep.
You've got Lamar Jackson, who's not much of a passer. I mean, he's getting better, but I think we've almost seen his peak. He's more of a running guy. You've got running back issues where Gus Edwards, I think, is going to go in there and he's going to be fine, but you're making that offense a little bit more one-dimensional. The only parity in that offense is the fact that Lamar Jackson can shake things up with his running capability, but you can't solely rely on that.
You spy Lamar and you double Andrews and make anybody else beat you.
Yeah.
I think that's a recipe to beat these guys, and I think anybody in the league could do that at this point. Like, they're so
maybe
one-dimensional.
not the Texans, but
okay, yeah, probably not the Texans or the Jags, but like they're so one-dimensional right now. I think the Raiders legit. Like, I'm not saying this just because I am a Browns fan and I fucking hate the Ravens. I legit think the Raiders have a chance to pull this off. That's why I put them in my parlay to at least cover. I'm gonna take them straight up as well. Give me the Raiders on Monday night.
Yeah. Now, the Ravens did exactly what was predicted on this pod.
100%.
Before people were talking about it,
So-
Le'Veon Bell's brought in. He practices with them.
Drink for the 100%. And if you are not listening to the Lineman Lounge to figure out what's about to happen, you fucking should be, because this man over here called it to the T on where Le'Veon Bell was about to go.
The only place that gave him any interest, and it ends up being the Ravens, like we thought would be the case. All right. So, yes, they brought him in, him and Devonta Freeman for a practice. They signed Bell. Now, Bell is only on the practice squad right now, but that's one of those kind of paperwork moves, it seems like. So he's taking one of those practice squad positions where they can activate him on game day. It's like 3 players that they're allowed to. They actually said, I believe I saw something today saying that Harbaugh had said, like, it's not out of the question that he could play on Monday night.
Yeah, he's gonna play.
I'm not positive that he is.
I think he's gonna play,
but he might. And that adds a little bit more razzle dazzle to it. We still don't know what Le'Veon Bell has. I'm still not sold on him. I picked him up in our fantasy league just to be careful, because I do have Gus Edwards as one of my running backs. So I want to hedge my bets there a little bit, because they're, I think that Le'Veon Bell has an opportunity to all of a sudden become a little bit more of his old self and do some special things.
He's not even 30 yet.
But the chances aren't super high, but I'm willing to take that slight risk, that gamble on him. But I think Latavius Murray could also be an option for them here in the near future.
He could have been, had the fucking Saints not screwed him over and cut him way too goddamn late.
Not this week, but I think that depending on what they see out of Le'Veon out of this week of practice, what they see out of Gus Edwards in the game, Latavius could be an option for them for sure. Going on next week, that's potential future. Just we'll see how this game goes. But at the end of the day, I still don't think that pushes. Let's say Bell comes in, he plays. That's not enough to push the Ravens over the top. Again, they're still at that one-dimensional. Again, it adds a little bit more because Bell is known to be a good receiver. He's very shifty, but still, you are keeping the ball in front of your defense and not having to worry about being attacked through the air so much behind that front seven. So I still see the Raiders as, they're not the favorite on the line right now, but they are kind of, like, my gut tells me the Raiders have every opportunity to win this game, and it would just be Gruden screwing the pooch, not allowing them to win this game.
He's gonna call Spider 2 banana 1 too many times, and the Ravens are gonna figure it out. But yeah, I'm not sold, man. I don't trust the Ravens right now. They're too hurt. Like, you see teams that are really good who get banged up and have bad years. The Eagles, the fucking 49ers. Like, this is not something new. It's not like, oh, yeah, well, they could work through it. No, injuries can derail a fucking NFL season. They have no practice together on that offensive side of the ball. They don't have a ton of weapons because they're fucking hurt. They haven't practiced together. Mark Andrews, I think, is going to be a stud. I hope he is, because I drafted him in fucking fantasy on several fucking leagues, because that's the only guy who Lamar can throw to consistently.
Mm-hmm.
But you can take him out. He is not a burner.
They have Marquise Brown, right?
Yeah, they have Marquise Brown,
who's never lived up to his potential.
No, I was never sold on Marquise Brown. Now they have Sammy Watkins.
That's true. I think that he could see some targets this week, but Sammy Watkins is what he is now at his age.
Yeah,
so he's a possession guy.
Yeah, he doesn't scare me at all. And then Bateman is out with injury, I believe.
Yep.
So yeah, give me the fucking Raiders. Let's go.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so those are your games for this week, but we do have a mailbag question.
We sure do. You got it pulled up?
Got it pulled up.
All
so
right.
This is another question from Kimmel, who brought in our question last time. He said thanks for answering his questions, and then made sure to let him know if he had any more to shoot him off to us. So we got this early this morning. He asks, in the offseason, the Bengals spent a lot of money on their defense and with some new players. On the surface, it looks like this could result in the Bengals trending up from last year. Do you agree? And as a Browns fan, is Mike worried at all about the Bengals?
No and no.
So I think the Bengals are trending up, but it's less to do with their offseason acquisitions and more with the fact that they do have Burrow, that he's a good quarterback, that he's got offensive weapons going for him. The defense, I didn't really see so much as what they were really building on in the offseason.
They got, Henderson, the guy from the Saints?
Yeah, so this offseason they signed Riley Reif from the Vikings to help their offensive line, but Reif had his best year ever with the Vikings, and he's aging, and it was a average to above average year. And I don't even think they're playing him at the left tackle. They might be playing him at the right tackle spot, which is not his normal position. They brought in Trey Hendrickson, who is good, but I think he was overrated because he was playing on a very good defensive line with the Saints. Chidobe Awuzie, he's an all right cornerback. Mike Hilton, don't know him. Larry Ogunjobi.
Mike Hilton was a very good slot corner. But
Okay.
that's what he is. He's one of the best slot corners in the league, but he's a slot.
Mm-hmm. Larry Ogunjobi at the defensive line.
I love Larry. I kind of wanted the Browns to bring Larry back, but Larry has steadily decreased his production since his sophomore year. So, I mean, it's a decent pickup, but does that worry me? Fuck no.
Yeah. Eli Apple, again,
That's a big draft grade, high pick that never lived up to the billing. He's an Ohio State guy. I rooted for him, but he had issues off the field. He had issues with management, and now is on his third team.
Mm-hmm. You've got Ricardo Allen at safety, who, he's an okay, blah, whatever, safety. Thaddeus Moss, which I don't even know if he made the team. That's Randy Moss's son, tight end. Kayvon Frazier at safety, Trent Taylor at wide receiver, and linebacker Joe Baki. I don't know if you said
those
that
are
correct.
those are Jags that you just named. Like, I don't fucking know really any of those guys.
But in the meantime, they lost a whole bunch of people. They lost AJ Green, Giovanni Bernard, Geno Atkins, Randy Bullock, whatever, kicker. Bobby Hart off the offensive line, backup quarterback Ryan Finley, Carl Lawson off the defensive line, William Jackson at quarterback. Margus Hunt, defensive tackle, defensive end. I think that they lost.
They lost more
than they got in return. So I think they're going to be trending in the right direction.
If Burrow plays all year,
youth.
they will have more wins than last year. But that has nothing to do with their additions. It has everything to do with their stud quarterback being healthy. They don't scare me as a Browns fan at all. The only team in our division that worries me is the Ravens. I'm not worried about the Steelers.
Gus Edwards was just downgraded to questionable.
Le'Veon is definitely fucking playing on Monday night.
Now, not that this means anything, but a giraffe named after Joe Burrow died after falling ill. So that might not bode well. It was a 20-month-old giraffe named Burrow.
That's sad. Tease and
died
piece to the draft.
at the Baton Rouge Zoo. So rip to Burrow. Hopefully that doesn't mean anything for Joe Burrow's health.
No, I want Joe to stay healthy.
Yeah. I think everyone does. No one wants to see a guy like have his knee just fucking annihilated like Joe Burrow's was. But overall, I think the Bengals, yes, in the next 5 years, they are trending up. This season, I think that the offseason acquisitions and stuff like that don't necessarily equal out as a net positive for them. But they're going to just continue to try to build through youth, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, I see them losing to the Vikings this weekend at home. So thanks for the question, Kimmel. I don't know that they're trending upwards. We'll see if we're wrong, and we'll eat crow if we are. I think that their offense could be very good, and as long as the offensive line somehow holds up and Burrow doesn't get hurt. But the defense, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of upgrade from them.
Yeah, I don't see hardly any upgrade on their defensive side. The offense, as long as Joe Burrow's healthy, is going to be good. They have dynamic weapons out at the receiver spot without Jamar Chase. So, yeah, I mean, they could be decent. They're not a threat to the Browns by any means, though.
Yep. So Mike's not worried. I'm not really worried about them this weekend. And that pretty much wraps it up for the show, I believe.
Yeah, that takes care of today's show, man. It was good to...
We're not doing a start, sit, cut today.
No.
We're not announcing it today. But we are in the next 24, 48 hours going to put out a start, sit, cut on our socials. We'll make sure to blast that out, everyone. So keep your eyes on the social media for the start, sit, cut. React to that poll. And then our next show, we'll go over that, see who we're adding on to our little dynasty team here.
Yeah. Now, we don't know when the next show is. We're still working out the details on that. But you guys will be notified on social when that's going to get ready to come out. Obviously, schedules, they kind of conflict. We have to work other jobs because we don't make enough money doing this or any money doing this. But
Yep. And look, I can only work the pole at the strip club so often. And the ladies just haven't been coming out to see the thickness like I would hope.
I figured Bishop Sycamore would have gave you a little bit bigger of a contract.
Yeah,
But,
well, it is what it is.
I mean, we'll make do. We'll figure it out. We'll let you guys know when that next episode is coming. What happened?
Breaking news. Gus Edwards suffers season-ending torn ACL in Thursday's practice.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, no.
Breaking news from the Lineman Lounge. My fantasy football team just took a huge fucking hit. And that also makes it even more likely that the Raiders are going to beat the Ravens on Monday night. Le'Veon Bell is about to be your starter. Latavius Murray is going to go there as well. I'm calling it now because they need some depth.
Yeah, they need a ton of fucking depth over there. Everybody's getting fucking hurt.
Jesus, fuck my ass.
Yeah, so
Slay my cunt hole. Fuck.
Raiders are definitely beating the Ravens. I feel good about that. I'm sorry for Gus. I hate fucking injuries.
Man,
I
they've
never
had
want to
some
root for
bad
injuries.
luck at the running back position on that team.
Yeah.
God damn.
Man, that's tough. Le'Veon's definitely fucking playing on Monday night now. There's no question in my mind.
Yeah, I think they have to upgrade him just to have someone.
I mean,
on the field.
and that's the roster move. Gus Edwards goes to season-ending IR, elevated off the practice squad. Le'Veon Bell, no other roster moves needed. It's nice and easy. That's done deal. He's fucking playing on Monday night.
Well, I hope Le'Veon Bell has a career year
I don't.
for my fantasy team.
I don't.
All right. Well, fuck my ass. This is the Lineman Lounge. Can't wait to see you guys again. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. Check us out on the socials. Email us at linemanlounge@gmail.com. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, the Facebook. Wherever you can find us, please hit us up. Let us know how sad you are for my fantasy football team and my truly bleeding asshole from this fucking injury. I hope you all have a good rest of your week. God damn it.
See ya.